Are you looking for a kindergarten curriculum? Here's what we're doing for our third kindergartner, coming up next. Welcome back to Molding Our Monkeys. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about our kindergarten curriculum that we've been using. Like I said in our last video, our third little monkey turned 5 last week, and so she gets to start kindergarten this year. So here's her kindergarten year right here in front of you. We've chosen to go with Heart of Dakota is the program that we go through. Her kindergarten book will be Little Hearts for His Glory. This will be the third time we've gone through this book in our house. The nice thing about Heart of Dakota is it's not about grade level, it's about an age. And so this is actually for 5 to 7 year olds. And I should say they're not sponsoring this video at all. None of the curriculum that we have here, I'm not advertising for them. I'm just showing you what we've chosen to do and why we've chosen to do it for our kids. So this is Little Hearts for His Glory, and I'm going to show you a day in the life of here. So if you open it up, it's really awesome. The way it's set up is it's got all these little boxes, so it makes it really easy for you to follow along, to know what needs to get done, what's been done, and it also helps it break up your day in manageable chunks. If I've only got a few minutes, I can do a couple of boxes. If I have the whole hour and a half, this program will take about an hour and a half if you were to work straight through it. So it's really easy to break up. So I'm going to walk you through a day box by box here. On the left side of the paper, and it's this way for most of the Heart of Dakota guides, all of them that we've been through so far, it's learning through history. So the first thing you do is you're reading about history, and you're going to read one of the 3 different books that we've got. There's the History for Little Pilgrims, History Stories for Children, and the 101 Stories from the Bible. And the one thing I really, really like about Heart of Dakota history, especially in the Little Hearts for His Glory guide, is that everything ties back into the history, and that the history is presented as God's story. History is His story of the world. And so all of the history that we do ties back into how it relates to God. And there's an optional timeline from the Facebook page that helps put that in a visual perspective for the kids, and it's really awesome. So you read a story, and it tells you right here in the box, this is what you read, these are the pages, and it also gives you the key idea. So a little summary that generally once we're done with the lesson, I'll read that back to the kids so I know that this is the main focus and that they hear that main point one more time. The next box is rhymes in motion. It's just a finger play or an action play, something that you can act out throughout the unit, which is 5 days. You may do a few different things with that poem, but it's in the back of the book, and open it up and read it. Heart of Dakota is so open and go, and it's all right here for you. And you can do these boxes in any order too, I should say that too. The third box is the Bible study box, and we use the Devotions for Children's Hour. And these are just real simple, short devotions, but again, it ties back into the main point of the history lesson and maybe what the Bible character is going through, or something that ties that into the kids' life too. Then we have the corresponding music, and that's just a CD that again ties that point back in. The other box on the Learning Through History is actually the rotating box, and so there's science discovery, there's art projects, and dramatic play, so they might act out the Bible story. The science written in the early guides of Heart of Dakota isn't a good fit for our family, so we supplement that. So if you're interested in knowing how I've supplemented or what I've used instead. I guess I can't say supplement because I don't do this. So if you're interested in knowing what we've done in the past, comment below and I'll get back to you on some details about that. The second page of the day is the learning the basics. And so that's our fine motor skills. And there's a couple of different books that we use there. These are the Rod and Staff workbooks. I think if you search like Rod and Staff preschool workbooks, you'll find them. They're not all preschool level, but that's the way I found them best or easiest. So these books will talk about matching and cutting and pasting and coloring and all sorts of fine motor skills. It also brings in some real life lessons, shapes and what belongs together sort of things. And we do 2 of them in this guide, the doing it carefully and finding the answers. The days that you're not doing that, then you do handwriting. And Heart of Dakota recommends a reason for handwriting. And I just go with that. It works well for us. If you open it up, it's letter by letter, practicing the writing the letter, and then it'll also tell you, V is for volcano, and then they've got a picture to color. This one does not go in alphabetical order, if that bothers you. But the nice thing about Heart of Dakota is if you want to do your own handwriting, then don't buy this book and buy what works for your family. If you want to do handwriting without tears or whatever, it's very easy just to say, okay, I'm just going to take this. I'm just not going to do this, and I'm going to put this in, and it'll still all flow together because it's broken up the way it is. The other couple of boxes on learning the basics page is a story time. And Heart of Dakota is based off of Charlotte Mason. So if you know anything about Charlotte Mason, she's her teaching style is through living books and a pretty laid back approach. So they have a story time written in. If you don't like the book, do something different. But just be reading to the kids is really what's important to Charlotte Mason. The math they recommend is Singapore math. And so the kindergarten level book is just Singapore Essential Math. And in here, what's nice is it gives you the pages they should be doing, but it also gives you a hands-on activity to go with it. Sometimes we do the hands-on activity, sometimes we don't. It kind of depends on our day and the concepts that they're learning, and also our time. Sometimes we just don't have time to do the hands-on lesson. We just do the workbooks. But again, if you have a math curriculum that you like, it's easy just to not do this and do your own math curriculum. But we've had success with Singapore. And I'll show you a little bit about the Singapore math real quick, because if you're like me, I need to be able to see things rather than just the cover. So it's pretty easy. Numbers to 5, counting, writing numbers, same, different, count to 5 numbers, size, length. So it's just kind of a general overview of math concepts. And so there's 2 books written in there, A and B, that they use. The last box in the learning the basics is the Phonics Choice. And again, Heart of Dakota recommends 2 different phonics programs. They recommend either Reading Made Easy or the Reading Lesson. We've chosen to do Reading Made Easy solely because that was the one that stood out to me out of the 2. But our kindergartner, who just turned 5, is not ready for the phonics lessons yet. She knows about 4 letters. So we're ways off from learning to read. So this year what we're going to do for her is this Get Ready for the Code. If you've heard of Explode the Code, these are the primers for that. And again, I'll walk you through that real quick. But there's 3 primer books for Explode the Code, and it's Get Ready for the Code, Get Set for the Code, and Go for the Code. This is the very first one, Get Ready for the Code. And in it just takes one letter at a time, and it's not alphabetical order. If that's an issue for you, I have mixed feelings about that. But which one's different? And then the letter F, and trace the line. So it's some fine motor, but it's also associating letters and sounds with pictures. And so it just kind of goes on, skipping ahead a little bit. Then we're comparing the different letters, and can we find how each one looks different and stuff like that. So we're going to go through the Explode the Code series with her this year until she's ready for a phonics program. But that's a day right there. That's it. And like I said, this will take you somewhere between an hour and two, generally right about an hour and a half is it. And they get everything they need. Yeah. So that's our curriculum that we've chosen for our kindergartner. I've done this curriculum we did with our second child, our son, as a kindergarten program, but I also did this as first grade for our oldest. So that's what's nice, is it's not a grade level, but it's an age. So if you have to take this book and you start out and you're going, oh, this is a lot, it's hard for them, then take it slower. Do half of, one of the pages a day, and just focus on the age, not the grade level. But yeah, I think that's what I have for Heart of Dakota. Little Hearts for His Glory.
So if you're wondering, Heart of Dakota costs us for this workbook and the supporting books that go with it about $200. That might change depending on how much you buy on Amazon or if you buy directly from them. But if you've liked this video, if it's been helpful for you, we would love it if you'd subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up. If you have some questions or comments, we would love to hear those. Maybe you've used Heart of Dakota and you want to tell us about it. Maybe you've got another kindergarten curriculum that you really like and that would help other people. Share that in the comments. And check out some of our other videos right over there.